Hello everyone, welcome back to this series where I take you on my journey of learning Ansible. If you're new to this channel, my name is Hanok and I am a system administrator based in Boston, Massachusetts. In the previous video, we got an introduction to Ansible. I was able to install Ansible on my Ubuntu application, and we were able to run a couple of commands and manage a VM that I was running using VirtualBox. In this video, I want to delve a little further into those commands, which are called ad hoc commands. Unlike last time, I've gone ahead and did a little bit of reading and took a few notes. So in this video, it'll just be me going over what ad hoc commands are, as well as showing you the examples that Ansible documentation provides. Ad hoc commands in Ansible are Ansible commands that run a single task. So things like you might run on a command line using bash, for instance, you could use an ad hoc command to do the same thing with Ansible. So some of the benefits of ad hoc commands is that they're quick and easy to run. They can be used for tasks that don't need to be run often. And if you want to leverage Ansible, you don't have to spend the time to come up with playbooks, which can be a bit time consuming to perform just simple tasks. Normally what Ansible ad hoc commands look like is this. It's usually Ansible, then some kind of pattern, the -m flag, then the module that you're running, -a, and then whatever module options there are. Patterns are where you define what the Ansible command is being run against. So this is usually hosts that are defined in your inventory file. And it could be, a single IP, could be a single host name, or it could be a group, which you would also identify in the inventory file. And I know there's some more flexibility to it, but that's the basic idea. In our example, I only have that VMs that I've defined using the IP address. So that would be the pattern, would be the IP address that my Ubuntu VM is. And modules, if you remember from the last video, is defined as the unit of code that Ansible runs. So that's the actual thing that's being run. So some examples are ping, service, command, and a whole bunch of others. In this video, I want to explore some of the common usages for ad hoc commands. And these are things like rebooting a server, managing files, managing packages, managing service, managing users and groups, and gathering facts about systems. Let's jump over to my computer and we'll start running some of these commands. So if you remember last time, I mentioned about my Ubuntu applications that I'm running using WSL. And then here's my Ubuntu. I'm just going to log in just to show you guys. Okay, cool. And then launch a terminal and then just run IP ADR just to show you that this is 192.168.56.105. And in my Ansible setup, if I do Ansible all-m ping, just to show you that I can ping that IP address, I can do -all -list host just to show what hosts are in my host file. Cool. So the first thing we'll do is reboot. So I have sudo ansible all-a and then the sbin reboot option. So this should reboot and you'll see it on the screen. My Ubuntu server. There we go. It is rebooting. Nice. We were able to reboot the system now that it's back up. The next thing I want to try is managing files. So we did this last time. We were able to move this file called file to move, which just says, hey, this file is going to be moved with Ansible to my Ubuntu home directory. I can cut this out as well just to show you. So I'm gonna delete this and do it again just to demonstrate. There's nothing in this directory anymore. So in this case, I'm going to use the command Ansible all -m copy -a, and then provide the source, which is where I am currently, or actually I'll do my home directory. And then it's file to move, and then the destination with the dest, and then that'll be my home directory on the virtual machine. So close quotes. Ansible spits out some facts such as the change state is true, where the destination is, group ID, group, permissions, owner, all that stuff. If we go to our VM and do an ls, we see it there now. Do a cat file to move. It's the same file. Cool. Let's say we want to change the permission on this. Right, if we do an ls-l, we see that file to move has read, write, read, and owned by Ad Hoc and group Ad Hoc. So what we can do, let's say I want to just open up this file. Let me go back. I could do Ansible all -m file -a, do destination equals home directory, right? And then a file to move. And then I could just say mode equals 777. That should give, change the permissions to just widely open. Okay, looks like we got a change true output, as well as the rest of the other information. So now if we do an ls-l, you can see file to move. There's read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute for user, group, and others. So anyone could has access to this file called file to move. So let's change that back, just because I don't want that to be open. Not that really matters, it's just a VM. If we do ls-l, read, write. I think I had 644 previously, or 655. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Cool. So that's managing files. Ansible can also create a directory or delete files. So let's create a directory here. You obviously could do, you can go on the VM and do make dir, the directory name, but we're trying to learn Ansible, so we'll use the Ansible. The command for that would be Ansible all, in this case, -m file -a. And then again, we want to specify destination. So this would be in the home directory. Do a slash, just so it can be inside that directory. I think I would give it a name here as well. So I could say dir to create, and then do mode equals, we do 755, and then owner would be me, and then group would be also me, and then I think there's one more. We could do state, yes. State equals directory. Cool. So it looks like change is true again. Blah, 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 just as where the path is. So if we do an ls-l here, you see this dir to move, or dir to create. And then it says we can also delete directories recursively and delete files. So let's just delete that directory to create from Ansible. So we could do Ansible all -m file, by destination, do home directory. And then dir2 create. Right, and then we could change the state to absent. Cool. Huh. Oh, missing an option, I think. All dash A. Cool, so now if we do ls -l, it's no longer there. Cool. So that's managing files and directories or folders. Next is managing packages. So it looks like I can I can ensure a package is installed without updating it by doing Ansible to all-n. The example uses yum, but because it's an Ubuntu, it's probably apt-a, and then the options are name of a package. So let's do whatever the example is, in this case, acme, and then the state is present. Okay, so what happens if we run that? I think this is a permission issue, so let's do sudo. See what happens now. Boom. Yeah, it looks like it's installed. We could also do state absent to ensure the package is not installed. I'm confused if ensure means it will make sure that it's not there by removing it or installing it the other way around. So let's do Ansible all -m apt-a, then we'll do name equals CME state equals absent. So if this removes it, then we'll know that means ensuring means removing, and vice versa, also installing. And if it doesn't, then we'll see. Okay, so we'll do sudo. Okay, this looks like it's removing it. Let's go back to the VM and do acme. Yeah, it doesn't recognize that command. The first one was installing, and then the second one was removing. So that's one way to manage packages using Ansible. The next is users and groups. So I could do Ansible all-m user-a, then name equals, so something like Hanoc-local, since there's already a Hanoc. And then password, but it's looking for a encrypted password, which I forget what command that is. So it looks like I can just echo a password. So like Hanoc 123. I'll probably change that right after and say make password crypt MD5 clear from. Do that. Command make password not found. Okay. Oh, look at that. I need to install this package. So let's do that using Ansible. Make oh, oops, not absent. Present, right? Let's go back up, and then it has to be sudo. Oops. Look at that. Now, let's see what happens if we run this. Hey, look at that. So we have this hash, right? Or we can create that local user now. So we could do Ansible all-m user -a, and then inside the quotation we could do name equals Hanok -local, and then the password. Do that. Close. Input password the input password was not to have been hashed. Encrypted for this, huh? I thought that meant that it encrypted it. Oh, so I got a permission denied. So what if I do sudo? Okay. So it looks like it did create the user, I think. So we could do a cat password. Yeah, so it did, but it doesn't have the password. That's okay. This video isn't about figuring out how to encrypt your password. But you get the idea. So the user is created. We could probably change the password when we want to. In the same token, we could probably remove this user as well. So we could do, instead of the password here, we could do state equals absent. Now, if we go back here and do cat again, yeah, the last one is no longer hanok.local. So that removes the user. And the same thing can probably be done for groups. The next is managing services. Let's see what's installed on here. Systemctl status, NFS, no. HTTPD. No, I guess that makes sense. Nothing is really installed on the server. The cron might be there. Yeah, nice. So this is a cron is a service. Usually you use cron to run like backups and stuff like that, or any task really on a regular basis. So we can use Ansible to manage the service. The first thing we could do is stop it since it's running, right? So we do Ansible all-m service -a, and the option is name. So in this case, cron, and then we change the state to stopped. And then when we do enter, maybe we might have to do sudo. Maybe we don't. Why is it hanging? Okay, let's interrupt it and do sudo. Oh, okay. Now look at that. Now it's inactive. Dead. On the same token, we could probably change the state to started. There we go. Let's see. Cool. Now it's active. So that's one way you can manage services. You can also just restart it. You can change the state to restarted instead of started or stopped. And lastly, we're going to do gathering facts. So this, according to documentation, it represents discovered variables about a system. So I assume this just tells you everything it knows about the system that you're on. So if we do Ansible all-m setup, boom. So this is probably all the information it can gather around the VirtualBox VM. Obviously, it's a lot, and we probably don't need all this information, and there's probably ways to filter it out, but you can see like the network devices, for instance, even the MAC address. Holy. And you can see how this is probably going to be effective, right? Like if you can grab information about a system, then you can manage it when things happen. Let's say, like if we can grab like CPU information or memory load or something like that, then you can probably have a playbook that restarts or something, a service or the server itself. Wow. Yeah, that's a whole lot of information. But we don't need it. So yeah, so that's it for ad hoc commands. And then in the next video, we'll explore playbooks. Be sure to be subscribed not to miss that, and like this video if you found any value out of it. Outside of that, peace.